Today on Studio G, the United States and 5 other countries have settled to an agreement.
Reporter Jordan Hardy gives us information about the dangers of social media and online predators.
And Bree Bradley updates us on what's happening in the world of trackside.
All this and more coming up on Studio G. Studio G, I'm Elena Ledbetter.
And I'm Farah Ninos. 6 world powers, including the United States, reached a deal with Iran Saturday night at the country's nuclear program. Described the breakthrough as a temporary 6-month agreement that limits Iran's nuclear development while lifting some of the international community's sanctions on the country. President Obama said the deal will help prevent Iran from developing a nuclear bomb, paving the way for a safer future for the nations involved.
Today, that diplomacy opened up a new path toward a world that is more secure, a future in which we can verify that Iran's nuclear program is peaceful and that it cannot build a nuclear weapon.
According to President Obama, since President Hassan Rouhani's election earlier this year, the opening for diplomacy emerged. Secretary John Kerry, who's been working alongside President Obama and Iran's president, continues to verify these limitations and prevent Iran from enriching more uranium.
Verification is the key. And President Obama and I have said since the beginning, we're not just going to verify or trust and verify, we're going to verify and verify and verify. We have to know to a certainty so that Israel, Gulf states, ourselves, nobody can be deceived by what is taking place.
For President Obama, he said Saturday night marked the most significant and tangible process that we as a country have made with Iran since he took office. Now agreements lie solely in Iran's hands to prove to the world that its nuclear program will be exclusively for peaceful purposes.
After the Las Vegas kindergarten teacher was accused of keeping a runaway teen girl who he met over the internet, reporter Jordan Hardy sat down with a local mother and daughter to talk about online predators.
The internet, one of the best innovations yet. We use it for everything, from work to leisure. A downfall to it is you don't always know who is on the other side of the screen. With the recent online sex predator incidents, parents are urged to step in and monitor their child's social media use. Lieutenant Jeffrey Green of UNLV Police talks about the acronyms they are using to connect with minors and how the internet is making it much easier.
A lot of the acronyms that they're using now kind of indicates that they know mom and dad may be watching. Be concerned and somewhat proactive in knowing, again, who your children are talking to over these means. And if there's a need to, obviously, discontinue.
14-year-old Taylor Gerard is active on social media and has over 1,000 followers on Instagram. Most of them she does not know. She lets us know why teens have this craze to have the most followers.
Because you're cool and it's fun. I post like twice a week and it's mostly pictures of me and my friends.
Her mother, Tracy Gerard, is taking steps to tighten up Taylor's privacy on social media.
We monitor it by, sometimes I go on, I'll look at the users, and sometimes if they're like older gentlemen, I make her delete them. And recently she put it to private so that she couldn't get, only people that she wanted to accept.
Ultimately, the best defense against online predators is to communicate openly with your child and set rules.
Sometimes it's hard to be open and honest with me, but I'm not going to judge you. I'm your mother and I love you. No matter what happens, I'm always going to love you, so you can always be open and honest with me.
There are also apps that parents can install on their child's phone that they won't even know are installed, but police also suggest keeping things like the computer use in a common area such as the living room.
A game called Knockout is injuring and even killing citizens. Reporter Ashley Schaefer has more.
The knockout game is making its way through the United States. The knockout game is when a group of teenagers spot someone alone and vulnerable. They walk up to them, and one of the teens punches this person in the face, making them knock out. In result, there has been at least 4 deaths. A congresswoman from Washington, D.C. was a victim.
Got hit from behind, landed on my front. After I hit the ground, there's a period of time where I don't really remember what happened.
The knockout game is happening in even more states, starting in the East Coast and heading to the West. You must be cautious when alone. A NYPD detective states,
now that we are aware that there's a knockout game going on out there, we need to be especially vigilant, and the police need to be especially vigilant. This is very dangerous.
Paying attention to your surroundings is very important with the knockout game. But with knowing this game is so dangerous, why are teenagers doing it? Clinical psychologist explains.
They're doing this to get a thrill, to prove their manhood or womanhood, part of peer pressure, and certainly they are followers and not leaders.
For Studio G, I'm Ashley Schaefer.
The knockout game has been reported for several years, but the rise of social media, the videos are going viral and are getting more and more teens involved with the game. After the break, Bree Padilla gives us a 7-day forecast.
Stay with us.
Your community's farmers market. Welcoming, lively, friendly. A place where neighbors and friends come together to celebrate their community. With over 50 vendors, organic, sustainable, fresh produce are available just for you. Support and buy local at Fresh 52.
Passengers from Los Angeles International Airport had a scare on Friday. Panic emerged after a car crash and a prank call about a gunman took place at LAX. It all began when a driver lost control of her vehicle and crashed due to a medical emergency. The sound of the incident was mistaken for gunfire.
I think what occurred here was a hypersensitivity to what occurred on the first that caused people to react in the way that they did. And I would rather be on the safe side than not take the appropriate action.
Authorities stated that the call about the gunman was only a prank. After searching the terminal, everything appeared to be safe. The incident took place just 3 weeks after a TSA officer was shot and killed by a gunman.
Speaking of airports, there were several delays last week at McCarran International Airport due to heavy weather storms in the valley, along with delays after receiving more than an inch of rainfall last Thursday and Friday. The Nevada Highway Patrol responded to 141 accidents. The accidents occurred when drivers lost control of their steering and braking because of the water on the roads. Let's send it over to Bree Padilla to update us on the week's forecast.
Much, Elena. Hi guys, it's Bree Padilla here with your weekly and daily forecast. So first off, as you can see here, we are at 58 degrees. Don't let the sunny outfit fool you. The sun is only here for a couple of days, but right now it's sunny and we're about 5 miles per hour for our winds. All right, so our current weather, as you can see right now, it's pretty sunny. There's a little bit of clouds as you get more towards the western part of the country. And as for tomorrow's forecast, we're still pretty clear. There's a storm front and a heavy weather, severe wet storm warning for the Gulf right here and up towards Louisiana and through to Tennessee. All right, for tomorrow's forecast, we have clouds once again. So as you can see, heavy storms are hitting the East Coast. All right, guys, and here is our extended forecast for this week. Like I said, the sun is leaving, guys. So we'll be cloudy through the middle of the week with no rain, hopefully, and then we'll see the sun again on Sunday. All right, guys, thank you so much. Well, that's all I have for the weather. Stay tuned for Trackside with Bree Bradley after the break.
My name is James Grant, King Louie here.
This is Jennifer.
Crystal May McGuerza.
I'm Savannah.
Zoe here.
This is your boy Miles Lowe. Christian FGY.
Kaylin Height.
And I'm Jay Luna.
My Mind's Music.
Gonzo Radio.
Combox Radio.
Join us for happy hour.
The Miles Lowe Midweek Show.
Ill Vibe Theory.
On KUNV.
KUNV. KUNV.
KUNV HD2. 91.5 The Rebel.
Broadcast on Rebcast.com.
I think what a lot of people don't realize, we provide 1,300 hot meals a day through 3 of our kitchens. We have about 650 people sleeping in beds provided by the Salvation Army every night. We have 127,000 of people that we touch every year. It's huge, and people have no idea that we do more than have thrift stores and ring bells at Christmas.
Good afternoon, race fans, and thanks for tuning in to this week's segment of Trackside. As always, I'm Bree Bradley. The final round of the 2013 Geico AMA Endurocross Championship, fueled by Monster Energy, was held inside the New Orleans Arena this Saturday. Motorcycle fans traveled from all over the U.S. to witness the epic points battle between 2 of the best off-road motorcycle racers in the world, Taddy Beluziak and Mike Brown. I, however, chose to see this weekend's Endurocross event from a different pair of eyes, other than these 2 men. Let's take a look.
I'm Lexi Wingner. I'm 19, and this weekend I'm racing the women's class at Endurocross. I raced professional women's motocross, and since that series is gone, I have been picking up desert racing and Endurocross, and my transition hasn't been that smooth. I have 3 championships. I have the Arizona State Motocross Championship, I have the Nevada California State Championship, and I have a Pro-Am California State Championship. The training for motocross is I do 15 minutes plus a lap, so it comes out to like 20 minutes. And for desert, it's an hour plus. It can be 2 hours, 3 hours. So for training, it's completely different. You just run on the treadmill, you do push-ups. It's mainly strength training. It's really intimidating, especially this is only my 3rd time doing it. So I don't even know. It's like nothing I've ever even ridden. And when you come up to it, you're just like high center on everything, and you just have to give it gas and jump it. I feel like I'm getting better just because I went to a trainer, but I need to go back. It's embarrassing, and you just want to get up as quickly as you can. You just feel defeated the second you're on the ground. To be honest, I've never seen a checkered flag. I'm not gonna lie.
So your goal for future events would be?
To make a lap or 2. See a checkered flag would be nice. Well, I would say it's hard, it's tough, it's slow, and you have to have a lot of patience to do it. The clutching, the balancing, it just wears you out more than a desert race or a motocross race would. I just want to go to X Games and finish just to say that I did it, because not a lot of people get to.
Let me tell you, it was an honor getting to sit down with Lexi this weekend. Although she didn't make it into the main event, I know I met a girl whose strength humbles even the most professional of riders. That's going to do it for today's news in the industry of speed. Let's send it back over to the desk with Elena Ledbetter.
Thanks, Bree Bradley. Nearly every dog knows how to play fetch, but one local organization is teaching dogs a new way.
Las Vegas Sin City Dogs flyball team holds practices once a week at Smarty Paws Training Center to teach their dogs a different way to play fetch.
Each team has 4 dogs racing in the team. So one dog races down, gets the ball, comes back, then another dog go, and another dog go. So they run down the mat, run over 4 hurdles, jumps on the springboard, catches the ball, races back. It's a real high energetic sport. The dogs are on their kennels barking because they can't wait to come out and race again.
Sin City Dogs members are not in it for the fortune, but the love of the sport.
Money, you know, the dogs get little toys. It's not really about what you get, it's just about getting out and having fun.
Sin City Dogs always welcomes anyone who wants to try flyball, and whether your dog is old or new, they will always help you find a way for you and your dog to succeed.
I started racing Trace just a couple months ago, and he was 3 years old already. So you can teach a dog in older ages. You just have to have a dog that wants to do it.
Sin City Dogs flyball team goes to show that you can teach an old dog new tricks. For UNLV Studio G, this is Smokey, and I'm Katie McLean.
That was so adorable.
Stay tuned for more news after the break. Don't go anywhere. Located on the campus of UNLV on Brussels Street sits Housel House, the Center for Social Justice. A place where everyone can participate, explore cultural identity, share different experiences, and learn leadership skills. No judgments. You are accepted, you are important, and you are welcomed.
Stand up, speak out, and change the world.
You drinking tonight?
Nah, not tonight.
Like, give me a couple beers. You want some?
No, stop.
Come on, just
Stop.
take a drink.
No.
It's just a drink.
I have to drive us home. Can
I'm
you
good.
even walk in a straight line?
Yes, want me to show you?
Oh, yeah, you're good.
Man, what are you talking about? I got this.
Just give me the keys, please.
I ain't drunk though.
UNLV football is making history. UNLV defeats Air Force 41-21 despite the freezing temperatures. This win makes them bowl eligible, something they haven't done since 2000. Their record is now 6-5, and they're looking for one more win this Saturday at Sam Boyd Stadium at 6:30 p.m. against San Diego State.
Earlier this semester, we were introduced to an extraordinary student here at UNLV. Reporter Jordan Harrison follows up to find out more about how Keandre Blackstone didn't let his age hold him back.
Monday, August 26, 2013, Keandre Blackstone Jr. became the youngest student to attend the University of Nevada, Las Vegas at the age of 14.
Most of the time it's like, what? I don't believe you. And I'm like, okay, don't believe me then.
That's the reaction that Keandre receives every time he meets someone new. But once you get to know him, you will never suspect that he is years younger than the average freshman in college.
I was a little bit surprised at first, but I couldn't really tell because he carries himself in a mature way.
I mean, he's a good guy. He want to learn a lot. I mean, if you walk around with him anywhere, you know, like, he'll give you a shirt off his back type of person. So he's a really good guy. Like music, like playing basketball. So y'all see him around, man, just say, hey, he's a good person.
Despite his age, Keandre hasn't had any issues with the transition from high school to college.
Only thing different is just like the school work, you know, and the classes. That's the only thing that's pretty much different. It's just a bigger campus and more people, but it feels like high school still.
I mean, I've never dealt with someone that young, and I thought it might be an interesting challenge, but it turns out he's just like any other student here. He participates in class the same way, he does the same assignments, so it's really no special treatment.
Savia Robinson knew her son was destined to be successful in school at an early age.
When he was like 2, I taught him how to tie his shoe because he was already like reading little kindergarten books, and he was like drawing all the time. So I taught him how to tie his shoe one day. I was just wanting to challenge him, and he just picked up just like that, and I was like, oh, okay, I can do something with this.
In elementary school, Keandre never felt challenged and would often get bored in school. So in the 6th grade, his mother decided to homeschool him instead.
And then at the same time, he was dealing with issues with some of his peers because he was so advanced, and he was the child in the classroom that always raised his hand to answer, and that would annoy some of the other kids.
When Keandre was in the 5th grade, he tested at a 9th grade level.
He tested, it was like grades ahead. So it was like no need to hold him back when he's mentally advanced.
Ultimately, the decision why Keandre wanted to attend college early was to pursue his dreams of becoming an actor.
There's so many people at my age that are so far ahead of me. You know, they got years of experience in like being in acting classes. So they're ahead of me, like they have more connections. It's a lot of people that's, you know, that's already out there and I'm not.
Instead of spending an extra 4 years in school, Keandre feels that going to college early will allow him more time to start acting.
This is just a way to to help me get my foot through the door, you know.
When Keandre was asked if he felt like he missed out on anything in high school, he responded with no. 10 years from now, I want to be able to look back and say I accomplished something that very few have graduated by graduating early, not looking back at a prom dance.
As graduation approaches, UNLV seniors are saying goodbye to the college life and gearing up to enter the workforce. The first stop on that journey? Interviews. Reporter Tommy Laren has some tips on what grads can expect.
It's that time of year again, graduation time. After all of the excitement of getting that cap and gown and planning that post-graduation bash, reality sets in. Time to put that degree to work and find a job. The U.S. Census Bureau reports that the average college grad earns about 75% more in their lifetime, which can equal about $1 million or more. So yes, that degree is worth it. UNLV Journalism's own Mary Hausch has 21 years of experience in the newspaper industry, including 11 years as managing editor at the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Over the course of her career, she has screened dozens of candidates, and now she's sharing some of her best tips with us.
I think the most important thing is to prepare in advance, practice the interview with somebody, know what the key points are you want to make, and have them in your head so you make them. Get to the interview early, dress professionally. If one person's going to be underdressed in the room, you don't want it to be you. And take a good look in the mirror. Do you have on outlandish jewelry? Or you have a woman, do you have on too much eye makeup? A guy, maybe you think that little beard looks good, but you're going to apply somewhere where no one's got a beard. So you want to look like the profession you're applying for.
The interview game is changing, and in order to be competitive, graduates need to step up their game. Technology is now part of the process. According to the Chronicle of Higher Education, Skype is now the preferred method many institutions and corporations use to conduct long-distance interviews. In fact, 12 to 18% of interviews are now conducted via the internet, bypassing the traditional face-to-face process. Technology-based interviews are also a money saver. Web-based interviewing saves hiring departments anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 per search. No matter what form your interview takes, make sure to be prepared with questions, arrive at least 10 minutes early, dress one level above the job you're applying for, and be prepared to spin your weaknesses into positives. For Studio G, I'm Tommy Laren.
Well, interviews can be certainly intimidating, but these tips and tricks are ones to remember.
After the break, I will sit down with Andy Bichelle of the Animal Foundation.
Don't click that mouse.
Is that right?
Promotes personal and professional development through competitive events, community involvement, and leadership development.
I joined DECA because I wanted to get out of my comfort zone. So I got to meet people, network, and definitely work on my public speaking.
To join DECA, it's a very simple process. You have to pay a $25 membership fee. You can either come to our next meeting, our website, which is unlvdeca.co.vu.
We're open to all majors who are interested in business, finance, or hospitality-related fields.
My name is James Grant.
King Louie here.
This is Jennifer. Crystal May Maguerza.
I'm Savannah.
Zoe here.
This is your boy Miles Lowe.
Christian FGY.
Kaylin Hype. And I'm Jay Luna.
My Mind's Music.
Gonzo Radio.
Combox Radio.
Join us for happy hour.
The Miles Lowe Midweek Show.
Ill Vibe Theory.
On KUNV.
KUNV. KUNV.
KUNV HD2. 91.5 The Rebel.
Broadcast on revcast.com.
Welcome back from the break. We're joined today with Andy Bichelle of the Animal Foundation. Thank you for joining us today. Now, who do you have with us?
This is Dolly. She's 11
Dolly.
months old, about 13 pounds, and she came in stray on the 21st of this month, and she's actually in adoptions right now at the Animal Foundation, which operates the lead shelter.
Gotcha. Now, I hear that you're having an event coming up next month. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, Home for Holidays. It is to promote adoptions during the holiday season. We've partnered with Fashion Show Mall for the last 3 years. This will be our fourth. And it just gives an awareness for adoption at a time when the dogs need the homes.
No, it's only dogs, no cats are going to be there.
Correct. Yeah, cats are pretty tough to transport and show. They get stressed and they can get sick from being in off-site adoption events.
Gotcha.
So
now, how many dogs are you going to bring down there?
we will have 2 locations out in front of Neiman Marcus and Saks Fifth Avenue, and we will have probably around 30 dogs. Okay. It just depends on how many are fixed and ready to go home day of the event. So.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about previous events? How many people came out? Adoptions?
Yeah, it's great to partner with the Fashion Show Mall at that time of year because that's when most of the locals are actually visiting the mall it tends to be much more of a tourist mall, you know, during the rest of the year, but the locals show up, and it's a good time to create an awareness for adoption so that even if they don't adopt that day, they know where to go when they're ready for adoption.
Exactly. Now, what do people need to know before they go in to even consider adopting? What should they know?
Yeah, it's a long-term commitment. It's, you know, anywhere, especially for a little dog like this, it's a 10 to 15-year commitment. So you really need to think about where you're going to be in that time
likes
frame.
the spotlight, I think.
She is. Yeah. So that's the biggest thing, and you know, the time and the monetary commitment of not only just feeding it, but getting it to the vet on an annual basis for shots and any treatments that it needs.
Gotcha. Now you said you have like the lead animal shelter. How many dogs do you have there?
Too many. We house anywhere from 800 to 1,000 animals at any given day. A lot of those are in the shelter environment. We carry anywhere from 260 to 280 dogs up for adoption at any given time. Cats, and then the exotics or non-catter dogs. We always have rabbits, ferrets, turtles. Just started a desert tortoise adoption aspect. Hi, honey.
How quickly are these animals adopted?
Our average stay is about 6 days in the shelter. So pick up, you know, from animal control or coming in from the public. Someone actually found her stray on the street and brought her down to us. So average stay is 6 days.
Now, is there any volunteering that people can do, maybe for this event, or?
Lots of volunteering. We hold orientations once a month to get everybody acclimated, not only with our organization, but what our mission is. And then we do a dog handling aspect. There are some event outreach volunteering aspects. There are, we call them the paparazzi, which are a group of photographers that come down to the shelter on a daily basis to get good adoption photographs of the dogs, to just walking and socializing the dogs while they're in their system. So there's a lot of different adoption or volunteer options.
Gotcha. Now, why is this event important to you, Andy?
Anytime we can get exposure for adoption, it is you know, there's too many animals coming in to the shelter, so the equation for solving pet overpopulation is decreasing the numbers coming in through spay and neuter and microchip identification, so we can get those animals back to their owners. But the other thing is to create the outlet, the positive placements through adoptions is the single most effective way to rehome these animals that don't have their owners coming to look for them. So anytime we can get exposure for adoption, it's well worth it, and a great partnership with the Fashion Show Mall.
And we hope that Dolly is adopted. Well,
yes.
Thank you so much, Andy, for coming in and speaking with us. That does it for Studio G. I'm Elena Ledbetter.
And I'm Farah Ninos. Tune in tomorrow for Studio G. Have a great day, Rebels.